people? It's another episode of the Giants, guys. Let's go, baby, with a Giants win. How happy are you people right freaking now? Come on, man. Like, seriously. This time last year, the season was almost over. All right? You're listening to another episode of the Giants, guys, brought to you by Astroflave. It is the only supplement you gym rats and weekend warriors and you're crazy maniacs in the gym that you're pounding plates, you're running stairs, you're doing CrossFit, and you guys aren't using Astroflave, and I'm really disappointed. Check it out, New Age Supplement Company. They are our sponsor. We're super excited to have them continuing with us. We hope you guys will follow them and support them. Meal supplements, collagen, testosterone, amino acids, they got it. You should get it. You can't buy it in a box store. Astroflave, they're our friends. Make them your friends. Okay, business side is out of the way. Football is in the way. We're going to get in here with the truth. We got Chris. We got Nikki coming on. And we're going to chew up the fact that the Giants beat the really bad haircut of Aaron Rodgers. Let's bring in Nails. Let's get him in here. What's up, Chris?
Hey, Craig. Hey, everybody.
Oh, dude. Like, how pumped are you to, be 4-1?
Oh, we're on a cloud for the last 2 days. Are you kidding? Who would have thought it, right? On Sunday. I mean,
I don't know how anybody's going to work.
It was very difficult to go to work yesterday if you were working because of the holiday. But yeah, I mean, it was all Giants, Sunday and Monday and today. That's all. We can't get enough right now.
Yeah, productivity is at its lowest point right now in the New York area. So I hope everybody's rolling with that. All right, let's get Truth in here. You guys know and love Truth. We got to bring him in. Michael, what's up?
What's up, boys? What's up?
Giants is what's up. That's what's up.
Amazing.
Michael, never in a million years, if I asked you what you thought their record would be at their 5 games, the answer would not be 4-1.
No, I had mine being 2 or 3 when I did my projections. So they're amazing right now. They're playing good football.
They are amazing. Yes, and they're our team, and we are calling them amazing because we are on cloud 9, and it's the best start we've had in a whole bunch of years. Let's bring in Nikki. She's wearing red today because she's celebrating a Giants win. She just got off some Ravens podcast and had to have an argument about Eli Manning going into Hall of Fame. So it never ceases. The Giants are always under attack for something ridiculous. But doesn't matter. You know why? Because you can't get me down anymore. All right? Because the Giants are 4-1. Let's bring Nikki in. Boom! What's up?
Yes. Hi. Yes, I'm just fresh off. I'm already amped up. So
yeah,
I had to defend. Our guy here, Eli Manning.
Yeah.
And that's just sad. We went on a Ravens podcast. Holy cow! I'm coughing, hacking up a storm.
I'm so excited. I'm coughing.
Too much celebrating, Truth. You got to relax. It was 2 days ago.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I'm drinking hot water. Yeah.
The funny thing is that your screen is frozen, but your voice isn't. So, like right now, you're just you're a nice face, and you're not moving. So nothing's happening, but you're frozen in time, which is okay because the Giants. We can continue to talk about it, and you won't have to be upset about anything because you're smiling in the picture.
Just let me know when it comes back. So
yeah, but right now you're just frozen.
A black box for him. So
yeah, I'm gonna do this. Let me see if I pump him in the back, and then I put him back in. Let's see if that works. I don't know, Truth. It's not looking good. You're a black box right now.
A black box?
Yeah, you're a black
box. I can see myself on my end. Should I go back out and come back in?
Yeah, sure. Come on back in. We're going to be talking Giants football.
Just don't forget about me. All right.
No, I won't forget. How can I forget about the truth? All right, people. So you're listening to another episode of the Giants, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'm gonna start off, guys, with something that you might not know, and you might, but I'm gonna start off with this, and I'm gonna put this up here because it's worth actually going through. Here's basically top 10 things that you might not have known about your New York Giants. Okay. There's Michael. He's back. Okay. as I was saying, here are the top 10 things that you may not know about your 2022 New York Giants. Here we go. Number 1, Daniel Jones leads the league in comeback.
Now you guys all froze.
Oh, we're not frozen. It's just you. Number 2, Giants. Number 8, power ranking by NFL.com. Do you believe that? The Giants are ranked by the NFL and their power rankings number 8. Number 3, the highest rated left tackle in the game after week 5. Of course, our own AT. Number 4, Aaron Rodgers said today on the, what do you call it, show? Pat McAfee show that number 97, of course, as we know, Dexter Lawrence, is one of the best in the league and probably should be getting more recognition than he deserves. Thought that was a pretty cool quote from Aaron Rodgers. Number 5, Saquon Barkley is number 2 with 533 yards. So he's number 2 in the NFL for rushing. And we all know that, the last, 4 years, we haven't had any rushing. So to be number 2 in the NFL is quite a feat. Number 6, stat that you might not have known about your 2022 Giants is Jones has 3 game-winning drives and leads the league. Now, I'd say a whole lot for a guy that you were trying to push out the door literally like 3 months ago. Number 7, that, of course, this one is not a shocker to some of you. Jones outduels Rodgers, who is the NFL's back-to-back MVP. So our little Daniel Jones, who we're all trying to fire, get rid of, push him out the door, just beat the NFL's back-to-back MVP. And I don't want to hear – all I'm hearing is Rodgers this, Packers this, Rodgers this, Packers that. No, it's the Giants beat the Packers. The Giants dictated what happened, okay? So let's not get all crazy what the Packers didn't do. Let's talk about what the Giants did do, okay? Let's make sure we get that out of the way. Number 8, what stat that you might not know about your 2022 Giants is Jones is also the most pressure QB in the league with 33.7%. So not only is this cat making it happen, now, I get it. He's not throwing for 350 yards a game. We get that, okay? It's a slow burn for Daniel Jones. But he's the highest pressured quarterback in the NFL. Number 9, Daniel Jones has only 1. Guys, can we all put this split? Put your finger up like this. Look, do that. Yep, go ahead. 1. Yeah, 1 turnover in the last 4 games. So all the rest of you guys who love to say, oh, Jones fumbles, he turns the ball. 1 MFers, 1.
And it took a great interception by Diggs for that to be 1.
Hands down. The guy is completely balling, throwing the ball out of bounds, taking care of the ball. 1 turnover. And yes, Diggs made that unbelievable play. Number 10. Last stat that you might not have known about your 2022 New York Giants is that they have 91. The Giants have 91 pass completions. Right? They took almost 3/4 of the year to get to 91 pass completions last year. The team is slowly coming together 1 block at a time. So remember what's happening. These stats that I'm reading you, maybe it's not 350-yard passing games. It's not 3-4 sacks games. It's not those big numbers. But remember, the rebuild, starting from scratch. So these 10 stats that I just read you are a team that won 4 total games last year. So, gentlemen, oh, well, you're one of the guys. I know. You're one of the guys.
I am. It's all right.
Yes. Rush family, Rush team.
Yes.
We're gonna do this because I did it last week and everyone said it was very cool. We're gonna do the rant and rave. Okay, so you get 1 player or scenario you want to rant about, and 1 scenario or 1 player you want to rave about. Okay, you don't got to be long-winded. It doesn't have to be overly deep. but someone that you want to give a pop to and someone you want to give a pop to. All right. So as I used to do this piece all the time, the rant and rave. So I'll start with you, Chris. Give me somebody you want to acknowledge for having a kick-ass game, or maybe a coach, and give me something that you really think needs to change in either how someone's playing or how someone's coaching.
Oh, wow. All right. So you caught me off guard here. I mean, there's so many players in the last game. I mean, you can go with anybody, but I mean, I'm going to say, I'm going to say somebody to rave about. Yeah. How can you go? How can you? And it's obvious. I'm going to go with Dexter Lawrence only because there's other players you could choose from. But without Leonard Williams and DJ Davidson goes down in this game, Dexter Lawrence really shored up the inside there. I mean, you got to give it to Dexter Lawrence. You know, so many guys you could choose from, but I'm going to go with Dex.
Dexy, baby.
Yeah, and to to rant about. Oh, man, I mean, everybody seemed like they were playing really well.
Yeah, I can't think of one guy to rant about.
Well, you have to, so figure it out.
One guy. I mean, all right. You want to rant about something? Jason Pinnock's got to get out of the way. He's got to know where the ball is on that punt. Luckily, when it hit off his heel, it went out of bounds. I mean, really, we're nitpicking here a little bit, but he's got to know where that ball is. That was a really lucky bounce. Thank goodness it went out of bounds. And at that point, I said Giants are going to win because the ball usually doesn't go out of bounds for the Giants. So, all right, let's give it to Pinnock. He's got to know where that ball is on the punt.
Yep. Okay. I love it. And again, it's just something that you. So the Pinnock thing to me is that special teams needs to, knuckle down and realize where the ball is. It's not really a rant like you're killing someone. You're just saying that if the team is going to continue to win and get better, those are things that they're going to have to lock down. Go ahead, Nikki. I'm going to jump in here. And by the way, I see all you guys in the chat. I see Lisa and Neil and Joe and Chris. And the other Chris, that's Hawaii Chris. What's up? I see all you guys, Granzier. I see all you guys in there. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Giants Guys. Nikki, give me a rant, give me a rave.
Okay, so we know I love to rant all the time. So I'm just going to rant about the fans who are still complaining. Get off my timeline and shut the hell up. I cannot believe people are ranting because of draft position. Are you kidding me? 4 wins. You just beat Green Bay. Like, I didn't even think we were going to win that. So please stop complaining. Just can you be quiet for a week, right?
Zip it.
Stop. Just zip it. I don't want to hear it anymore. And they're really on Twitter and replying is so negative. Like, if you're like this at 4 wins, were you jumping off a bridge last year? Because I don't understand this. So and let me give some props to Tay Crowder. I have been super hard on him. I really have. I've been super critical. I'm not saying he's great, but he's having great moments. Okay. And I think he's like slowly maybe kind of coming in to his own a little bit. So I've been super critical. I've practically just hated on the guy for a really long time. So I will give him a little credit that he is having some great moments.
Because he's got McFadden and Jalen Smith back to him. Why? Just covers up his terrible play. All right, Michael, give me a rant. Give me your rave. Again, remember, you could be talking about coaching, play calling. You could be, if you were watching football yesterday, you might be ranting about the refs. Oh. So, anything that you want to throw in here, the floor is yours.
Oh, I can rant about anything I saw in the NFL game?
You want, long as it's New York Giants, long as it's New York Giants related, my friend.
Well, I can't use this one then, but I guess I'll nitpick here.
It's a Giants show. That's kind of what we do.
Okay, I'm going to nitpick here, and the offensive line is playing better, but the one guy who still has issues I see is Feliciano. I did see him get beat on the interior a couple of plays with the penetration, and granted that's not his natural position, but if you get a little bit better play out of him, you can see a little bit better production with the Giants overall running and passing. That's nitpicking. I'm not going to pick Jones or Barkley for my rave. I'm going to go to a rookie, Bellinger, who is two touchdowns now and they're slowly giving him more looks. Jones probably has more confidence in him, throws the ball to him. I like the kid. I think he's gonna have a nice, solid year, and I think it's only gonna get better with that kid.
Yeah, so let's say right now he has 10 receptions for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns, 1 rushing, 1 receiving. He is off to having a really nice year. I mean, you're talking about a kid who may come in around 700 yards receiving, 600 to 700 yards receiving, and 5 touchdowns. I mean, like, that's a really nice year for a 4th round, draft pick that we knew was going to be, listen, we interviewed him, right? We love him because we met him and he was a good guy. His family are good people, New York ties. But as you said, Michael,
everybody's freezing.
No, it's still you. It's still you. We're all good here. Yeah, it's still you. But it's okay. Your face is up there, so I'm still talking to your face.
All right, I'll leave it then.
What's great with Bellinger, I think, is I'm starting to see Jones use him as a safety blanket. Jones is almost ready to get sacked. He dumps it off to Bellinger. He rolls out and he doesn't have anyone. He sees Bellinger. So Bellinger is becoming that. Again, I know they're different players, but it's like he's basically becoming Shepard part 2. Shepard used to bail out Jones all the time, and it's hard when you're a slot receiver to bail out the QB, right?
Yeah. And you'll see more looks. He'll get more looks as we move forward.
They're smaller, but Bellinger is he's doing a great job. I don't really have a rant or rave overly. I know I'm not really, I don't know, like sometimes I do these things and sometimes I don't. I mean, I would definitely like to, if I was going to do a little bit of a rave, I would definitely rave about, just the defensive line play in general without Leonard Williams. What's his name? Ward. I mean, like they're getting after it. You know what I mean? I mean, actually, if I was, again, now that I'm talking through it, guy's been on the team for 2 weeks, and Jalen Smith is just basically just banging guys. You know what I mean? Like banging guys. You're unfrozen, Michael, so you're good to go.
Okay.
Jalen Smith been on the team for 2 years. It's the same story as last year. They signed him last year before the Dallas game. He came in and I think he had 11 tackles, right? And he's I don't know what Jalen Smith's deal is. I don't really care. You know what I mean? I don't know why people don't like him. I don't know why he doesn't have a job, and I still don't care. Because that guy, as soon as they sign him and put him in the Giants uniform, he hits anything that moves. And, I think he's a very instinctual linebacker. And I could see him and McFadden becoming the starters and moving out. So that would be definitely a rant, would be the defensive line plus the play of Jalen Smith. And the rant, it is a little bit difficult because they did a lot of nice things. I would probably say they started off slow again, right? Like, they do a little bit slow. Kafka seems like he needs to get going a little bit. They were having trouble a little bit converting a little bit. I'd like to see him start a little faster, if anything, just so when they start playing these high, powerful, potent teams, they like to throw the ball. They don't have to play from behind all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Again, we're nitpicking, right? But just saying overall, I don't want to see them have to play from coming from behind all the time because that wears out, right? You can't always do that, right? You can't have all these guys playing their best game all the time. So I'd like to see them, come out a little bit faster, if anything. All right, cool. Awesome. Way to start the show. Thanks for tuning in. A bunch of you guys are all rolling in. This is another episode of the Giants, guys. You can find the show, and please subscribe. It's not a big deal. Just hit that subscribe button, and it does us a big favor. Podcast. Where can you find it? I know some of you pod heads out there. It's my phrase, by the way. Don't let anybody tell you it's not. For all the pod heads out there, you can get us on Amazon Music, Apple, Stitcher, Google Play, Spotify, Anchor. So you can pretty much find the Giants guys anywhere. So if you're on the way to the gym, you're working out, you're on the treadmill, you're walking the dog, you're fishing on the weekend, whatever you're doing, if you can put on your phone, pop it in, go to your favorite platform, bang, hit the Giants guys. You will hear us talking New York Giants football. Of course, YouTube channel is The Giants Guys because that's the name of the show. Let's move on to our 2 cornerstone studs. Oh, look at that. The belt guy is definitely.
Yeah, I saw that.
What's up, Tuto? I see you guys all rolling in here. Let me get on to our 2 cornerstone pieces right now, guys. Jones and Barkley. Nikki, you said that you were arguing with someone about Eli Manning.
Yeah.
I was arguing with someone. Someone's like, I'm not giving Jones any credit. You know, he's throwing for barely 200 yards. And I'm just like, all right, guy, you do you. You know what I mean? Like just you do you.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't make any sense. Because everything that I'm watching, not only with my own eyeballs, but going back and doing the analyzation, Nikki, I'm seeing a guy who has I can do it probably next week or even during the week. The pocket Jones has is great. He is getting some exceptional time, Nikki. He's throwing the ball. He's pushing the ball down the field with velocity. Okay. His accuracy is there. Okay. Because we've always said, like, oh, we don't know what he can do. Well, now we're starting to see what he can do. And the other side, of course, is a healthy Saquon Barkley. What are your thoughts after the Packer win? Okay, so, like, again, when we were, beating Carolina and, we were like, oh, okay, they're not great team. We just beat the Packers, MVP back-to-back years. We beat the freaking Packers, right? What is your thoughts on your 2, what I would call faces of the franchise? What's your overall opinion of Jones and Barkley right now on where their game is?
Yeah, so I'll keep it simple on Barkley. I told you all. I told everybody he was coming back. He was going to have a big year. I've said it on every podcast, right? I know I kept harping on it and watching him in training camp. Like, he's back. I did get nervous when he was out, right? I'm like, oh my God, please don't be hurt again. Like, we just can't sustain any more injuries. And that's a whole other conversation. So for Daniel Jones, look, it's no secret. It wasn't like I was the biggest Jones fan, but on the other hand, it was really tough to judge him with no offensive line, no wide receivers, right? This kid's out here doing what he can do. And people laugh at me when I say he's a dual threat, but he's been our leading rusher many weeks. So he can run, he can use his wheels. And I'm sorry, he is playing really, really, really good football. And I just don't understand when you hear these people criticizing him. I mean, listen, he's gone through what? 3 head coaches in 4 years and 3 different offensive schemes, and hasn't had an offensive line, hasn't had the best talent around him. And, I think that was hard to judge, but now we see him coming into his own, and I don't know how you can't be happy. It's like some people are rooting for him to fail. And I don't get that.
Yep.
I don't get that.
So, Stuart, talk to me about Jones and Barkley. Like, because I will say this. I'm not expecting, with the receivers that we have, I'm not expecting 300, 350-yard games. But is he not making all the throws he should and then some? Is he not throwing tight windows? Because he's throwing some really tight windows, which we haven't seen. And he's confident with the ball in his hand. If he pulls the ball down, he's finding a nice window to run through and pick up 3-4 first downs, whatever it was. What's your thoughts on Jones, on his confidence and where he's going?
Totally a big turnaround. I even said on Twitter, this could have been a turning point, this game of his career. He looks so poised in the pocket. In past, he would hold on too long, and the pocket would collapse on him. We'd all be screaming at the TV, run. But he ran when he needed to. He felt the pocket when he needed to run. He played a great game. He looked so poised. He looked so in control. I mean, Aaron Rodgers at times looked like he was the rookie. He looked like he was running with his head on a swivel, looking around who's going to hit him. Jones looked really good. He really did.
And Barkley?
Barkley's Barkley. I agree with Nikki. He stayed healthy. I knew he'd have a good year. I mean, we even had projections, I had 1,700 total yards for him. He might even pass that. He might get 2,000 yards. But as long as he stays healthy, like Nikki, I was freaking out when he got hurt. I said, oh, boy. I thought it was a broken collarbone when they said his shoulder. I said, God darn it, But he stays healthy. He's going to have a good year. There's no doubt about it. And I think Jones getting a little bit more passing yardage. I think they'll open up the playbook for him a little bit more. They're going to let him, extend the field. I think you'll see a little more production from Jones too in the yardage.
Chris, Barkley goes into the tent. They said they put him in the tent. I didn't really even see an injury when he got tackled, but they go in the tent. The sideline reporter saying, he's frustrated. He doesn't want to go in the tent. Then they say he's questionable. They take him in the locker room. Oh. I'm gonna guess they give the man a shot of painkiller and they send him on his way because they said the quote was, Chris, when he came out of the tunnel, it looked like he was shot out of a rocket. Mm-hmm. So he must have come flying out there like I'm ready to go. And the next play, he's catching that swing pass and hitting a seam and blowing up the sideline. Totally dropped that guy's jock strap with a great move. What's your thought on Barkley and Jones here?
Yeah, I mean, when you talk about Jones, look what he's working with. David Sill, Richie James, Marcus Johnson, who's bouncing around with a few teams, who I actually think he has an opportunity to actually show what he can do. And then you have Darius Slayton back in the picture. So, I mean, look what this guy's working with. And Jones goes 91 yards. Barkley's out for most of the drive or the whole drive, and they score. So I feel like Jones trusts that left side with Andrew Thomas there. And he's not worried about that side anymore. I mean, he's focusing downfield, and although he has to worry about, the center position a little bit in the guard, I think he's really trusting the backside. And when you talk about Barkley, you just see how he hits the holes. Everybody's talking about it. There's no dancing. He's running with purpose. And he's heard all the echoes the past couple of years about him dancing and just waiting for holes to open up. He's hitting them, and he lowers that shoulder in field. He's not looking to run out of bounds.
It's literally, Chris, a different Barkley. And it's not me saying it's the old Barkley. This is a different Saquon Barkley.
I think it's an angry Barkley.
Yeah. Remember, Saquon Barkley's always been what they call a home run hitter, and there's nothing wrong with it because every single one of us would kill to be a home run hitter, okay? So it was fine, until that kind of dog and pony show didn't work out because he got hurt, right? He's running he's lowering his pad level. He's hitting the hole hard and fast, then making the move. Where he used to make the move and then see where the hole opened up. Now he's hitting the hole and making the move. And he's so confident in the open field. I mean, he made that Packers cornerback miss him, and he was like, whoop, whoop. Okay, doke, see you later,
video game stuff right there.
Now, again, not nitpicking on it, but that was a touchdown. It's how we always teach it. You're always bouncing to the outside. He had that guy turning around when he was running, and then he went inside.
Right.
He was like, you know what? Give me the contact. Give me the contact because it's a new Barkley. The old Barkley probably would have stayed at the sidelines and might have ran down the sidelines for a touchdown. Either way, it's great to see because he is now.
Man, am I the only one not freezing up?
Yeah, you're frozen, but it's okay. We can see.
Oh, I see. No, you're not frozen, Nikki.
No, we're not frozen. You're frozen, but we can still see your smiling face.
Come on, Elsa, let's go.
Chris Jones. I'm seeing a different type of guy. I'm seeing a guy that's confident, who's actually getting, blocking. We watched Dan Orlovsky break it down this morning. If you happen to catch that.
Yeah,
he's getting such a nice pocket, Chris, to throw from. He's making the passes, and it's building blocks. It's every week. It's a different step. Instead, he's not going to go from 0 to 60. He's not going to go from 100 yards to 350, 1 touchdown to 4. But it's okay because he has Barkley and he's got an offensive line. What's your thought on what you saw out of Jones? Chris,
you're asking me again, Jones?
Yeah, I want to know if Jones is Jones making you feel, Chris, that he might be the guy?
Yeah, I know we're only 5 games in, but I mean, as of right now, just what he's doing, what he has to work with. I mean, these receivers, just think about these guys. They would be practice squad or they would be buried on a depth chart on a different team. These guys are starting. Sills is starting. James is starting. This guy, Marcus Johnson, starting. Darius Slayton comes back from the dead and plays Sunday and does pretty well. Imagine if he had, a true number one receiver that we all thought he had in Galladay, who was on the field. But boy, I'll tell you,
or the other guy. Don't forget the
I
other
know,
guy.
yeah, with Tony too.
Yeah, that's his name now, the other guy.
But you know how we always said, quarterback. We always talk about Brady, right? Never had receivers, but he makes everybody look better. I'm not comparing Jones to Brady by any means, but he's making these receivers look better than what they probably are.
Yeah, but I thought Marcus Johnson totally impressed me. He caught everything thrown him, and he had a couple of catches over his head. He had to reach up and grab
a big target
on those
too.
crossing patterns. I mean, it was very impressive.
In fact, Truth, he led the team in snaps on the offense. There was 58 offensive snaps, and he had 45 of them. So
wow,
he had a big amount of playing time.
So they saw the same thing, I guess.
Yeah, I think so.
I got to put this up here because
everybody's freezing on me.
Sarah says, "Hey guys, just here to see Craig's hair."
All right, let's go. Everybody's asking for it. Let's go. There we go.
All right.
I got everybody freezing up. Come on, guys. Hey, everybody's back. Everybody's back.
Nobody's freezing up, Truth. It's just you.
No, you guys are freezing up on my end.
I know. That's because you're it's because your feed isn't working. So we're fine. We're rolling on. You're just
really? Oh, okay.
I wouldn't lie. All right, there it is.
Yay, there we go.
All right. Let's put that back. That's for Zane and Sarah. Okay. Guys, I'm loving the Barkley. I'm really happy that he's here's the only thing I'll put the bow on Barkley is this. Chris said he's running angry. He is running angry. I hope he's not so angry that he has a great year and he just wants out. I do hope that the fact that the Giants come to the table with some money, I hope the fact that he's like, I want to be here. I know him and Jones are buddies. You know what I mean? So I hope that Barkley does say stay if they're going to offer him the money. I always thought the Chubb deal was an affordable deal, but I don't think he'll want, if he rushes for, Mike said he may go for 2,000 all-purpose yards. Like he may want to be a Raider, he may want to be a Dolphin. He may want to be something else because he's had it with New York. I just hope that everything goes his way, and I hope he gets the accolades he's so deserved because I think he's a great face of the franchise because he doesn't get in trouble and he's not mouthing off. And I don't give a crap where he was drafted, and I don't really care. I like the guy. He represents New York. He represents the Giants well. I hope he stays and he's balling, and I'm super excited for him. Let's talk about these guys. Bang. Defense. So, Truth, the defense has got a lot of injuries.
They do.
But they still balling.
I mean,
they are literally just plugging guys in. Next man up, next man up, next man up. They got guys on the field, Truth. I don't even know who they are.
I know.
So what is working now that wasn't working in the past?
A better system. Wink knows how to implement these players, and he's more creative than what Patrick was, Graham Patrick. So, I mean, like you said, we got two studs and Ojolari and Williams out. I mean, can you imagine those two guys playing right now in our defense if they were healthy? You got guys like Ward. You mentioned him earlier. I think he's having a very good year, and only we talk about him. I think this guy's phenomenal. He does everything.
Ward is a cool, fun player.
He's a monster out there. He really is.
Yeah, he's old school, Michael. He's an old school ball player.
Yeah, and again, we always talk about Dex. He's having an all-pro year, and you're getting good play out of those guys coming up. Who's that? Fabian? Is that his name?
Yeah, Fabian Moreau. Yeah,
Fabian Moreau. Unbelievable what he's doing. And now they're going to have to go with two guys at the corners, right? I think Jackson's going to miss this game. Is that correct? Chris, you seem to be on top of those injury reports.
He said after the game that if he had to go back in, he would have went back. He could have gone back in, but they held him out. So I think it's a neck, right? It's a neck and a knee.
Again.
So I think we'll know Thursday whether he's
oh boy,
participant in practice. But right now, really
Chris, you know what's interesting is Jackson goes down. and they put in like number 44.
Nick McLeod, who was cut by
McLeod.
And right away, Rodgers goes right at the dude.
Yeah.
And the guy bowled. Like he made some nice plays. It was very refreshing because
Yep.
I was waiting for the kid to get smoked.
Yeah. I mean, I think he gave up the first pass, and then you said, oh boy, he's going to go after him. And if you remember a few years ago, Rodgers did the same thing to Corey Ballantyne, who was on the Giants. He went after him and abused him. And you thought, oh boy, he's going after him the rest of the game. But I would say he locked it down, but boy, he played some sticky coverage.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So with Jackson's injury, just so everybody knows, if you missed the press conference yesterday, Brian Dable did say he would update everybody on Wednesday.
Oh, because
Okay.
they were late traveling, right?
Yeah. So look for that Wednesday. We'll tweet it out. If you don't follow me, make sure you follow me.
Nikki, what's your favorite part of this new defense? Is there something that jumps out at you where you're like, dang, I didn't see that coming, or I really like the way this guy's playing? Like, is there anything that just jumps off the page at you that where you're like, hey, I didn't see that coming?
How about the run defense? I mean, they held, what are they? Jones and Dillon to 97 yards. I mean, they're just balling this run defense. So I love it. And they're going to need that next week against the Ravens. And I know I was super concerned about this being just a very young defense and adjusting to this Wink Martindale defense, because they said all summer it has to be very intelligent. But I mean, I'm just happy to see that some of these players are grasping it, and it seems like the chemistry, and they're coming into their own. Like Thibodeau said to the media, like, hey, listen, as of last week, this was like our second time out. We have guys injured, we're building our chemistry more and more and more. So to see that is really cool. I said this defense is going to finish in the top 10, and I will maintain my prediction.
I absolutely adore that prediction, because if that happens, you are definitely rocking the 8 ball, because no one saw that coming except you. I'm going to throw this out here. I just wrote down something you said, and I wrote it down and I circled it a couple times. It's the word chemistry. Really, really great point. These guys are starting to gel, and I'll tell you where I see it. I see guys like Julian Love just making plays. Okay. Julian Love's been on this team for 4 years. I liked him because I'm a closet Notre Dame fan, and I always rooted for the guy. I always loved that he came to the Giants. Truth always knows I've always been a supporter of Julian Love. And here this guy is a captain, and he's around the ball all the time. And I think there's this chemistry that they trust. He's going to come up and make a play. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not a Crowder fan, but I see Jalen Smith and McFadden's getting his feet wet now because he's getting more snaps. There's a chemistry kind of brewing, with the defense, which again, teams win when the defense gets swag. When the defense starts getting swag and they start walking around with a chip, like it's a different type of team. I don't know if you guys believe in that. I totally do. When the defense gets a little chip going on, like I always remember in 2007 when Strahan had the balling thing going, where they all went ball it, and they all went up and did the balling. Like that didn't start the year; it just kept coming like a freight train. Next thing you know, they're all doing the balling, and everyone's having fun, right? Ward is a guy who likes to have fun. You saw him in his post game doing the videos. I don't know if you guys saw this, but they got Wink dancing to some hip hop, beat that they're cranking in live, and Wink's going. Like, I mean, they are having fun, and that is huge. So now you got guys like, like I said, Julian Love and a rookie like McFadden, and these guys are making plays. So the defense is like really just, I mean, they are on point. So here's the wild card question. Chris, starting with you on this one, because I'm not sure if this is a good thing or a bad thing, and I need you to talk me through it. The Giants signed Landon Collins. Okay. I was a Landon Collins fan. He was like one click away from Defensive Player of the Year in his second year. And then I don't know if he just bulked up too much. He just became basically a linebacker, not a safety. They killed him about his coverage. Some of it was accurate. Some of it was a little, it was a little stretched out because he wasn't a prototypical safety. He's not coming here to take Xavier McKinney's spot. And he's not coming here to take Julian Love's spot. And, of course, they've got what's his name, too?
Benton.
Dane Benton.
Belton. Yeah, Belton. And they got Belton. So, Chris, what are they going to do? And by the way, 21 was available. Believe it or not, there's not a 21 on the roster, which is absolutely insane, right? So he's got his old number back. He's signed. He's on the practice squad. He's got a little homecoming going on. Where does he fit here, Chris?
Yeah. And real quick, Landon Collins got a lot of heat, and he's not good in coverage. But if you remember, when he was here, there was a lot of broken coverages by the corners, and with that defense, they seemed like they weren't on the same page. And Collins was always in pursuit, kind of looked like the bad guy chasing people. But he's not the coverage guy as it is. However, now, later in his career at 28 years old, the Giants play quite often a 3-3-5, right? 3 linemen, 3 linebackers, 5 DBs. You're going to see him, a situational player, in my opinion, coming down in the box. You're not going to see him playing free safety. You're not even going to see him back there maybe with McKinney unless he's going to be, creeping up. I think he's that other linebacker that may take some snaps away from Crowder, and I see him coming up in the box and being that run stopper, being that guy to come up and lay the hit, and be that, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 5. You're not going to see him back there, freelancing with McKinney. He's going to be that other linebacker.
So, Nikki, Collins always wanted to be here to begin with. So, going back to what I circled, what you wrote is chemistry. Does a guy like Collins, who's got a little bit of baggage because he was here before, does that ruin the chemistry? Because, sometimes you get a big stick to walk in. The guy's been here before. He knows, he's maybe a little bit on the negative side because he saw nothing but losing, right? Like he's a little tainted. And I'm not killing the guy. I actually like Landon Collins. I knew what he was. So, Nikki, does he fit? Does he fit? Like all his boys are gone, right?
Right.
All his boys are pretty much gone. I mean, maybe Dex was a rookie when Collins was here. There's not another guy on the defense that was here except Dexter Lawrence when Collins was here because he was in Washington for those 3 years. Does it ruin the chemistry, Nikki? Or I don't know, do they have enough strong personalities to not let that happen? Or can it upset the apple cart?
Well, I think if you just have anybody negative, right, and they can't turn their attitude around in any situation, right, then you just want to get rid of them. You don't want that cancer, especially in the locker room. But I do think this locker room, they do have enough personalities that they're just going to, kind of say, hey, no, we're not going to do that. And I don't think he's going to come in with a negative attitude. I mean, you look at what Brian Daboll has done with this team. You cannot tell me he has not turned this organization around. It's all about culture. This team, they're fighting, they are gritty, and they know it. Like you said, they have a chip on their shoulder. That's when defenses play the best. So listen, Landon Collins, welcome home. But if you're going to come here and be negative, then nobody's going to want you here. But I don't think he will. I think he'll start forming the chemistry with everybody. I think he'll be just fine.
Truth, your thoughts on Collins? Because again, the guys never saw any winning. Can he adapt? Well, you know what? I shouldn't even say that. He has to adapt because otherwise he'll be shown the door. My question is, does he fit? Because, again, he's a thumper. He's in the box, like Chris said, so maybe you don't have to have Love come down and get hurt because he's small. I mean, I'm pretty sure Collins weighs about 235. He's probably the same size but more physical than Crowder because Crowder's a tweener.
Shorter, but yeah.
Yeah. Do you find it's going to be a good fit to bring in Collins? I like the guy. I don't know what he has left in the tank, and I don't know, if he fits. But they signed him for a reason. Yeah,
well, to Chris's point, I think he'll be a specialist, like Chris pointed out. Maybe 25 to snaps, so maybe a little more. He'll definitely be in a lot of blitzes and against the run. And again, what Nikki said, I don't think he'll be a distraction. I don't think he'll be a problem. I think he wants to come home. I think that meant a lot to him that he got re-signed.
Neil's got a great point. I'm going to throw Neil's point up here. He says, I believe I have to believe Collins would have been vetted before signing. Yeah, I'm sure they sat him down and said, hey, new regime, new coach, new scheme, new everything. You know, you're on board or you're not. And I'm sure he was probably like, yeah, man, let's do it. So Neil, great point.
And Craig, if I could jump in, you know, he took a flight to London being on the practice squad, right? He probably could have waited till they got back, but he jumped on a flight and met the team over there. So that says a lot too. He wanted to be with his team right away.
Yeah. No, like I said, I like the guy. I just know that, like, you know, he was on some really crappy teams.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, where like there were times, like you said, like he'd be chasing guys down, and you would just see number 21 chasing guys down, and right away you'd be like, oh, he blew the coverage when it wasn't his coverage. He was just trying to make a play.
Yeah, his rookie year. That's when he went to the playoffs in 2016. That was his last taste of really a winning team.
Yeah, Granzier says, you know, Wink Martindale's defense, he runs a gambit 3-4 tic-tac-toe. We had a 4-3 high roll covers. Yeah, I've seen it too. I just know one thing. I've seen what he calls Patrick Graham do all that horse shit too, and it doesn't work. So I'm glad the fact that, you know, Wink is, you know, running it's not a bend, don't break defense. It's don't break. You know what I mean? He's in there smashing heads.
Yeah, attack mode. That's what he does.
And Collins has always been a hitter, thumper.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Collins will fit right in.
Yeah. And Greg, last thing. They asked Wink last week before the London game, and he didn't want to get into it, but he asked him about his feelings about Landon. Where would you play him? His comment was, playing on defense is positionless, which is great because he finds your strength and plays you where he wants to play you, which is awesome.
I love it. All right, so we got a huge win. And by the way, like when the game was kind of almost over, I kind of thought Rodgers kind of gave up. Like he just didn't really like seem like the Rodgers of old, maybe because it's early in the season. But like him and his bad haircut really were not impressive.
Yeah, what's up with that haircut? I try to figure it out looking at it from the backside with the hair coming out.
Well, it's because I guess he's got the underneath shaved like a lot of the young dudes do, but his hair's really thin, so it just looks like a toupee or something.
It's horrible. It is not a good look.
Yeah. And for Sarah and Tuto and the belt guy, which is Zane, they're all making fun of me in there about my hair. Like I can't help Rodgers unless he calls me. If Rodgers calls me, he needs a little bit of hair. We got
Look at that hair.
We got something for him. All right, guys. Also, too, if you're in the room, there's a handful of you guys in the room. I'm going to let you know that thanks to a really cool what I would call Rush family member, Crypto on Twitter, he donated a bunch of money, okay, to us today. And I'm trying to see here. Let me see if I put it in here. I put it in the show notes. He hang on. I'll pull it up over here. He donated a bunch of money today, which was, I don't even know what to say. It was super cool. So we're going to give away a bunch of Rush t-shirts and hoodies over the next couple weeks. So, because again, I don't know what I did to deserve it, but it's, you know, it's there are some really good people in the world. And he donated a bunch of money. He said, I'm on the West Coast. I live in San Diego. You know, I don't get any giant stuff out here. Found your show. Love it. Here's some money.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So if all, you know, so there's tons of morons out in the world, and he's not one of them.
No.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just do a can you stump the Rush staff. So for all you people that are in the room and hanging out, what I'm gonna ask you guys to like conjure up, because I don't want to cheat, is come up with a trivia question before the show's over. Send it in right when we get done with this next segment, okay? The show's only got about another 12, 15 minutes left. Come up with a trivia question. Drop it in there. If we can't answer it in 30 seconds, I don't even have my phone in front of me. I actually don't even know where my phone is. So I can't really look up the answer. So
no cheating.
Yeah, no cheating. We're not going to cheat. Drop a question into the notes in the comments. And when I say go, and if we can't answer it between the four of us, as Chris will attest to, we were hanging out with the game day crew a couple weeks ago, and we couldn't come up with Colt McCoy. It was pretty sad.
Caught us off guard. We knew it was Seattle.
Caught us off guard. So in a couple minutes, come up with a trivia question. Drop it into the comments. If we can't come up with an answer in 30 seconds or less, you're going to win a NY Giants Rush hoodie or t-shirt. Sound cool? Hope you're on board. Guys, let's talk about Ravens. It's Wink coming home, right?
Mhm.
It's Wink coming home to battle with his old folks. Truth, I'll start with you. Like, did the Giants have a shot here? I mean, Lamar is really dynamic. They got Mark Andrews. The guy catches everything thrown to him anywhere on the planet. What do the Giants do here against the Ravens? It's going to help them win.
Who are you asking, me?
You, Truth. You're the only Truth here.
I didn't hear you say Truth. I think I got zoned out. But I think it's going to be I think they're going to have to really keep him in the pocket. I mean, they can't let him win with his throw the ball. If anything, they can't let him get outside the pocket and freelance, because when he does that, he can take it all the way to the house. Can't let him do it.
Yeah, he's pretty special. Nikki, what do you think about this Ravens game? You
I
just
see
got
Nikki
off a
moving.
Ravens podcast, Nikki.
Yeah.
Tell me about what they were talking about. Tell me what you think.
Yeah, I mean, it was, can the Giants contain Lamar Jackson? And it's just kind of like, I mean, you do the best you can with this guy, right? I mean, It's like, there's really no blueprint for him. But I did bring up a stat to them. So far through, what are we, week 5? We're about to go to week 6. So Ravens have given up 216.6 yards per game. So I actually think that if we can get some receivers out there, probably big play Slay, the deep threat will be something that will work to the Giants' advantage. But yeah, it's really going to come down to coaching, defensive coaching, and trying your best to contain Lamar Jackson. But, the Ravens have been giving up like these, right? They're like winning by 20 points, and all of a sudden, they're giving up these big plays and they're losing. So the Giants can win. I don't think they're going to, but they can.
So, if I don't know, you have any? What was the opinion of the people that you were arguing about there? Why are they so down on the Giants and the Giants are 4-1? Is this all about Lamar? Is that all they're resting on? Is Lamar?
So they're resting on Lamar and the fact that they know Wink just as well as Wink knows the Ravens. And I understand that, but they are resting it all on Lamar. And listen, I mean, it was a Baltimore podcast, so they're just like, nobody's beating them. And they're not really, and I'm finding this with everybody, unless you're a Giants fan, and not every Giants fan is doing this, a lot of people are not even giving the Giants like any credit, right? Oh, they got lucky a few times. So I think that narrative is out there as well, and people just in general looking at the NFC East like, oh, these teams are getting lucky, the Giants got lucky, so they're not really taking them seriously.
That's perfect. That's what we want.
Yeah,
that's perfect.
Yeah, Giants have always operated well when they're the underdog and no one gives them any respect.
Don't take us seriously. That's it. Come into a game not taking a team seriously. That's good.
Yeah, I definitely think so, and I think we've done a better job. Again, it will be a Wink kind of show, right? Because he's going to pull out all sorts of stops to basically say, hey, you didn't want me? Well, guess what I'm going to do to you? So Wink's going to come hard. It definitely, if I'm hoping the Dory Jackson is healthy or semi-healthy. I know they always say once an NFL season starts, you're never healthy. So I'm kind of under the impression that there's going to be some guys playing hurt, and we don't have the injury list until tomorrow. So you have to stay tuned in for that. Oh, there's Chris. He's back. He had the. Where'd you go, man?
I don't know. I don't know what happened. I have everything plugged in. I have no idea. I'm sorry. Sorry about that.
It's okay. We were just talking about the Raven game.
Yes.
And Nikki was basically saying that, it's Lamar this, Lamar that, and I'm like, okay, look, the guy throws for 2,000 yards and he rushes for 1,000 yards. Can the Giants shut down Chris? Can they shut Lamar down and make them a little bit more one-dimensional, or is that just not going to happen because everybody tries to do that?
I trust Wink with all my heart. After these 5 games, how could you not believe that he can't come up with something? This is a get-back game for Wink, right, against his old team. So I think he wants to pull out all the stops because, for everything we've heard, he was let go by Harbaugh. And I think this is a game he circled and really wants badly. So I think
he circled this one. Yeah.
Do you think he's going to put a spy on Jackson?
I do, and I think they're going to keep a close eye. That maybe that's a Julian Love, right, coming down in the box a little bit. Keep an eye. I don't know if maybe Crowder even. It's going to be
Jalen
somebody.
Smith. What about him?
Yeah, Jalen Smith. That's another good one. Yeah,
the Giants are for real, and they're getting ignored by a lot of national media. And if they beat the Ravens, it's going to be a huge. We'll be walking down the road wiping it off because it's like, the Ravens are technically a better team than the Giants. We got that. Their tight end alone, like I said, is just this magnet for touchdowns and first downs. And, the line is, here we go. Grand's ears got the line for me. Look at that.
5.
My mind. Favored by 5, unders 45. I mean, listen, I don't see the Giants giving up 30 points. You know what I mean? I don't see that. I also don't see the Giants scoring, 25 points. I think it's more of a low-scoring game because it's going to be who's got the bigger you-know-what from a defensive coordinator standpoint.
Hey, listen, they got 2 great kickers, both teams, so it could come down to field goals. Who knows?
Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah. And they lost the safety, which is a big loss.
All right, if you want to win a NY Giants Rush hoodie or a sweatshirt, or a T-shirt, I want anybody that's left out there in the room, drop in a Giants trivia question right now. You got 30 seconds to drop them in here, and if we can't come up with the answer to your trivia question, send me a DM, and we will get you out a T-shirt in the next couple of weeks because I got to order them because my man Crypto Freeze was kind enough to and follow him. Okay. Follow him on Twitter, check him out, pound him up, say thank you for the donation. Drop it in, into the comments. Yes, Tudo, Wink's been doing a great job. Better than we ever thought coming from Betcher and then, Patrick Graham, who we were all calling the Black Picasso because, he was like an artist, right? That first year, and then it just kind of fell apart. And Wink's just like this. We're letting the dogs out. You know what I mean? And we haven't even seen the best of Leonard Williams or Ojulari yet. And
that's right.
I think Ojulari might have gotten a little too muscle bound, and he's having trouble, because he used to have great bend. Ojulari, Craig, you forgot to tell about Astroflave, my wife's favorite. No, I didn't. You weren't on the show, dude. We always tell people that the Giants guys are brought to you by Astroflave. Look, Nikki's got the ice shaker right there.
Yep.
So, yes, we are brought to you by Astroflave. And do me a favor, folks, follow them on Twitter. Hit them up. They have, again, they have a vegan product out now. Like, these guys are legit, okay? It's 5 stores in New Jersey strong. You can't buy it in a box store. I don't know why you guys. I'm using it for meal replacement. I'm down 7 pounds. Okay.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm pumping it back. Baby. I'm pumping up. I may need like 9 surgeries, and I'm not jacked like Chris, but I'm still using the product. The shakers are great. Nikki's got one. I got one. Chris has got like tubs of Astroflave.
Oh yeah, cookies and cream. Everybody, you like Oreos? Go with the cookies and cream. Awesome.
All right, so I'm a peanut butter cup guy, but just saying, I wouldn't steer you wrong. All right, we actually partnered with them because Chris told me how good a product it was. So I was using it because Chris gave me some first, just so you guys know. Astroflave, follow him on Twitter. Check it out. The discount code is NY Giants Rush, all caps. That'll give you 10% off anything you buy. Amino acids, testosterone, collagen, vegan, greens.
Collagen. Yep.
Yeah, everything. Everything is there. They have it. Definitely check Astroflave out. So bang, that's for you, Tuto. All right. Questions. If you're going to give me a trivia question, you want me to send you a T-shirt, now is your time to drop it in there. I know you guys are talking about a bunch of different stuff right now. My wife and my sister-in-law loves Astroflave. Really? Look at that. Look, hang on. There you go. Look.
Ooh,
My
look
wife
at
and my
that.
sister-in-laws love Astroflave. They've used Giants rush coat. Tuto is the man. I
Yes.
don't know why he's in Italy. He's playing rugby. All I asked for was one rugby shirt, one rugby jersey. I can't seem to get it. I don't know why. I know why, because he loves all the Giants podcasts and he doesn't love us the best. That's why, Tuto. That's why. All right, guys, what do we do really quick so we can wrap all this up? I don't see any questions coming in. Maybe you guys are thinking too hard out there. So the last point that I have is it's a bigger question, and I'm just going to kind of get your overall thought. You don't got to get too deep on me. Truth, are you signing Barkley right now? 5 games in. Are you signing Barkley and Jones?
Yes.
Just Jones, just Barkley.
No, signing both of them.
Oh, okay. Here you go. First question. I can't answer this one. This is not going to stump me though. How many episodes will it take you to get Jeremy Shockey on? I can't answer that. There's no answer in that, Bones. It's so not fair, dude. Because I've tried to get Shockey on. I've done everything. I even told Shockey that for Father's Day 15 years ago, I bought my dad an autographed Shockey helmet. My dad still has it in his rec room. It's badass. I've tried everything. I cannot get Shockey on. So I'm going to keep trying, but that's not a fair trivia question. Stump me how many? Because I'll go with the over and I'll say 300.
Hey, let me just extend that question you asked me.
Yes, please go.
I don't think with Daniel Jones, I don't think it'll be a mega deal if they sign him. I agree. I looking on Twitter, a couple of people saying like a 2-year deal. I could see something like that, and Barkley will be a team friendly. Of course, if they want to stay here, we don't know what's going to happen there. A team could come out of nowhere and want Daniel Jones. We don't know. Or Barkley.
I don't see, and that's I love your take on it. I don't see Barkley being a friendly deal. I see Jones being a friendly deal because Daniel Jones wants to be here in my eyes. Nikki, what's your opinion on signing? Again, we're only 5 games in, got 12 games left to play. But at this point in the season, what's your feeling on signing Jones and Barkley? And hey, Miz, thanks for joining us. I see you out there. 5-1, here we come. That's right, Miz. I love it. I hope you're enjoying your new house, Miz. I know you had a big move a couple months ago. Go, Nikki, you're up.
Yes. Sign Barkley. And I do think Jones will be friendly. He's not going to get Deshaun Watson money, who has screwed up the quarterback money for everybody. But yeah, no, he will be on a family friendly deal, I would think.
Yeah, I'm kind of feeling that same way, that Jones is going to be something like, 19 million a year, 20 million a year. And he gets a 2-year with an option. I see Barkley. Like, I want him on a Chubb deal because it's affordable, but I see him. He comes in at 2,000 yards all purpose. I don't see it. Go ahead, Chris. Give me Jones. Give me Barkley. What's your thought on those two guys being re-signed?
Yeah, if this pattern keeps playing out like it is so far after 5 games, I think Barkley being the face of the franchise and Mara, knows with merchandise and everything that Barkley's a good soldier. They're going to re-sign Barkley. I feel, and I think Jones, maybe he gets and both of these guys get a big signing bonus, and then they extend the money a little bit further down the road and not so much upfront in the first year. And maybe like a 3-year deal, and it escalates, and see where they're at in 3 years. With them out, maybe there's a way out. If it didn't work out, where they would be able to release them with minimum, cap hit. I'm just thinking out of the box here. Something like that. I
gotta throw this one up on here from Brian because I gotta tell you, I have a what's the word, guilty pleasure or something like that on this guy. I'm gonna throw this up here. Tag Barkley and sign Jones to a Derek Carr contract. Like, how about just sign Derek Carr? I'm like, I like Derek Carr, man. But I hear you. I
don't know if Barkley would take a tag. He might demand a trade.
Yeah, I agree with Truth too. Yeah, with that, I think.
Barkley's either going to be the highest paid running back in the NFL because he's not going to. I mean, again, the Chubb deal is where it's at. You know what I mean? And I don't think he's going to come in for the Chubb deal, which was done 2 years ago, if Barkley remains healthy. But Barkley's got 10 touchdowns and 1,700 yards rushing and 2,200 all-purpose, there ain't no shot he's coming in with a tag or a friendly deal.
Yeah.
Right.
Especially not all the crap he got over the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Jones, I think, on the other hand, would be a friendly deal where he wants to be here. He wants to be in New York. I don't think there are many opportunities. Like, I can only name maybe 4 teams that he would start for.
Yeah. And Craig, if this keeps, playing out well on the offense, Kafka's going to get a lot of looks as the next, hot coordinator to possibly get a job. But the nice part is you got Dable, who comes from an offensive background. So you're not changing systems too much, right? You're still going to keep that system. Thankfully, we have an offensive guy as our head coach where Jones would still be locked in. Because you got to think, if Kafka does this for a couple of years, he's going to get a job.
Oh, yeah. Oh, without a doubt. If they have 2 back-to-back good years, Kafka's gone in 2024, no, without a doubt. So what is Juan throwing up here? Let me see what he says. DJ will take whatever they offer him. I don't know about that, Juan, but he's
not a DJ supporter, this guy, Juan.
Yeah. Listen, I can't sit here and tell you that I can name 10 franchises that he could start on. Like, I really can't. Like, he's not going to go in and start over guys like he could start over Mariota, but I'm assuming that they'll be drafting a QB. But I can't see he wouldn't start in Miami over Tua, and he would, even though I think he's better. I don't think he would start over Cousins. I don't think he's starting over, a lot of these get Mac Jones. He's not starting over a lot of these guys. So I don't know what the market holds for Daniel Jones. It looks like holding a clipboard would be in his future if he doesn't come back.
That's amazing.
Truth. Name me one team Jones can start on. Truth. Give me one team Jones can start on. Nikki, give me one team Jones can start on.
Carolina.
Good.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Chris, give me one team Jones can start on.
I would say Atlanta, over Mariota.
Houston?
I don't know about Houston. That kid's not bad. He plays hard.
No, I agree with Nikki. I think Houston. As well.
Yeah, I don't think Mills is set in stone that he's the guy. No, I agree with them. Absolutely.
Brian, don't worry about Thomas. Like, you're not. The New York Giants are like we're always worried about extending McKinney and Thomas. Like, just take it. Like, let me throw it up there for you. Yes, but we don't need Brian. I love you, dude. It's going to happen. Breathe easy. You're never letting your first round draft pick walk out the door after 4 years. It just doesn't happen.
Especially the way he's playing. A left tackle.
Yeah, McKinney and Thomas will get extensions. You don't even have to blink an eye. It's just going to happen. Like set in stone.
Yep.
Right.
And you want to mention the Ravens? He's going to be our Jonathan Ogden. He's going to be here for a very long time.
Yeah.
Best tackle, one of the best.
Yeah, because I know people are like, don't pay Barkley. We got to extend the kid.
Boy, I can remember when Thomas was a rookie, people were screaming, what a waste of a pick. Oh my gosh, how things have changed.
Miz came in strong. Carolina, Atlanta, Seattle, Chicago, the Lions, Texans, Washington. Nah, he's better than Mac. You think he's better than Mac Jones? He might be.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Mac Jones has really only 1 year. He did okay.
I think the Lions like Goff. Goff went to a Super Bowl. I don't know. I don't think Jones has the experience of Goff. I don't think he's better than. I don't think Goff is great, but I think the Lions are pretty content with what he's actually been able to do there.
Washington was going to take him.
Washington, yeah. Chicago just drafted Fields, and he just started this year. So I don't think it is that Chicago's going to play. Seattle, listen, yes, but Geno Smith is throwing the crap out of the ball right now. Yeah. Right? So he's got he's one of the highest rated deep ball passers in the NFL right now. Geno Smith's just whipping the ball down. But I see Atlanta and Carolina and the Texans and Washington all, spots. So that's a good pop for you, Miz. All right. Again, last time before I sign off. If you guys want to win some swag, I've got a donation. I know I'm dropping it on you in the last moment. If you can come up with a trivia question that we can't answer in 30 seconds, I will send you out some swag in the next 2 weeks. I have to actually order the shirts first. But I've got different logos. You can go on NY Giants Rush and you can look up one you want and I'll order for you, or a hoodie if you want to buy it for Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever, the holidays. If you have a trivia question, drop it in now. If you don't, you're lame, and we'll give your shirt to some guy who is sitting on the side of the road in Philly in Center City somewhere. Right now, I feel Jones is earning the right to be part of the future. Yeah, Miz, he totally is earning the right. Nikki said it earlier. Like, right now, he's doing everything he possibly can be. He's everything they're asking him to do, he's doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, you're listening to another episode of Giants, guys. It'll be loaded up a little bit later. So tomorrow when you wake up to go work out, you can have an Astro Flav shake and you can listen to the Giants guys all at one time. Make sure you follow all these peeps, nygiantsrush.com. All the articles are up there. The podcasts are up there. The team store is up there. Dude, we have some sick stuff in the team store. Like Nikki's got like kind of like what she's wearing now. They've got, really cool shirts for the girls. They got hoodies, they got all sorts of stuff. So check the team store out, and that's kind of it. I'm wrapping this puppy up because I'm 11 minutes long. So any final thoughts out of you guys? Nikki, any final thoughts before we say goodbye to the peeps?
Well, I will be at the game on Sunday. It's a very challenging time in my house, being married to a Ravens fan. So we'll see. I'll update you guys.
We'll see you there.
See how it goes next week. I don't know.
Brian says, thank you guys helping me get through work on the overnight. Right on, Brian. I'm going to put that up there because that is very cool. Rock on, B. That's what we do. Yeah, anytime, dude. Make sure you pop in anytime. We'll give you a shout out. Appreciate you being part of the Rush fam. Truth, any last words?
No, I'm just looking forward to this coming game, and I think they got a good chance to go 5-1.
Chris.
I'm fascinated with Landon Collins. I never thought he'd come back. Disgruntled boyfriend, girlfriend that hated you when he left. In fact, if you remember real quick, when the Giants beat Washington, it was Jabril Peppers, his first year, and he ran it back for a pick six. And at the end of the game,
he gave a cheap shot.
Yeah. And he was saying to Landon Collins, I'm the real 21. And then they got into a scrum in the middle of the field. And they had to get broken up. So how crazy is it comes full circle when Landon Collins is back on the team. So I just find it really fascinating how he's back with the Giants. And you know what? It was a great Giant. So I'm happy he's back.
Yep.
Yeah, we haven't heard much out of Leonard Williams, Miz, if he's coming back or not. And Collins next to Jalen Smith could be a great thing. But, dude, I'm not putting it past McFadden. I'm really excited about McFadden. Getting Crowder out as fast as we possibly can. Like right now, I would pack Crowder's bags for him right now. If you ask me, I would drive to New York, pack his bags for him, to get him out. So Jalen Smith, Collins, and McFadden, sign me up. I'm good to go. Crowder, hit the road.
Right. That's a little much. Come on. You can't pack him up. He plays hard. I'm not a Crowder fan, but he's playing hard.
He played good last week. I don't know.
And I know
as good as your last game, guys.
I know Mark Thompson, who always, touts for Crowder. I got to back him up. He's played well.
Playing hard in the NFL is a necessity.
He may not be a starter, but he deserves to, be on the team.
You want to put him on special teams? Be my guest. I'm cool with it. Starting him inside linebacker for the New York Giants, not having it. He cannot live. Look, it took him 3 years to get one hit on Derrick Henry.
I know. Not for 45 snaps, but he's okay for 15 to 20 snaps.
But I don't need him if I have Jalen Smith, Landon Collins, and McFadden. I don't.
Come on, it's the Giants. We got guys hurt every week. We know we're going to need them at some point.
True. You do need them. That's true.
That is true. That my friend is very true. No word on Leo yet. I thought he was coming back this week, so no word on Leo. Be interesting to see if Leo and the way Dex is playing, if that makes Dex better or it takes Dex out of the limelight a little bit, because normally that's Leo. So, but they are best friends and that they play well together. Just be interesting to see how that goes. And kudos to Rodgers for giving Dexter Lawrence a pop, literally saying that He's one of the better guys in the NFL. And the quote was, I talked to my guys up front, and they said that he's one of the better players in the NFL that they faced. He should be getting more recognition. I thought that was big. I'm not a big Rodgers guy, but thought that was pretty big out of Rodgers to say on the Pat McAfee show. So kudos to Rodgers for not being the biggest jerk as I thought you were. Maybe you're not a jerk at all, and all your commercials just make you look that way.
I think he's a jerk.
You think he's a jerk? Okay, fair enough. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Giants, guys. We'll be back next Tuesday. I will say this. I am coaching 8th grade football, and I have a game on Sunday, and I cannot get out of it. So I'm missing the game. I'm giving the tickets. I know it's not what I do. Not what I do. But I can't get out of it. But I will say this. I will leave you on this note. This is how good my weekend was, and I hope you guys embrace what I'm about to tell you. I did tweet it out because I couldn't stand it. I had to do it. So Little Rush is in 8th grade, and he's starting quarterback. He threw for 2 touchdowns, and he ran for 2 touchdowns.
Wow.
One of them 50 yards. Then on Saturday, that was on Saturday. On Sunday, my daughter, who is a freshman at Michigan State University, MSU, there in the Big Ten, she got to play and almost scored twice. Right? She almost tipped one in, and then a back chip went a little bit wide. It was awesome. We were stoked. The Giants won. It was such a good kick-ass weekend for the Santucci family. So all you people out there, hug your kids, kiss them, hug them, tell them you love them. Enjoy the sports while you have it because it goes by super fast. They grow really super fast. You know what I mean? So enjoy those moments while you can. Thanks for tuning in. We're out. Peace.